tonight, we're quiet. Now for tomorrow, it's hot and humid. Highs around 90 degrees, and it's going to be very windy. Winds over 30 miles an hour. Now, as we head into the evening hours, could pick up a shower or a storm. This is around 6 p.m. I'm WPTV First Alert Meteorologist Steve Villanueva for WSTU 1450, Martin County's Heritage Station.
You are listening to WSTU, Stewart, Jensen Beach, Hope Sound, Martin County's Heritage Station.
It's time now for the Casey Ingram Show on WSTU. The opinions expressed are those of the program host and guest and not necessarily those of WSTU. WSTU does not endorse products that may be mentioned. Any reproduction or retransmission of this broadcast is strictly prohibited without written consent of WSTU. It's time to call in with your questions and comments at 220-978. WSTU. And now, here's Casey Ingram.
Good morning and welcome back to another wonderful Wednesday. I have another couple shows on tap that are fantastic, informative, and my first guest in the studio have some really good information for us today. And they are going to be talking about a lot of events that are coming up for, you kind of have an abbreviation, right? CC Kids. CC Kids. So we're going to have Christina Kaiser. She's on my very far right if you're watching on Facebook. Christina is the Director of Community Development. Ms. Kaiser holds a bachelor's degree in journalism and wildlife biology. Christina has been with CC Kids for 10 years. She started working for the Prior Lead Agency in 2003 and became the Prior Agency's first development director in 2005. She has over 20 years of journalism and public relations marketing experience, most of which is in the local four-county area and related explicitly to child welfare. She covered social services and the Department of Children and Families for the Press Journal. She was recognized and awarded by the Society of Professional Journalists for quality reporting. Ms. Kaiser is the chair of the Florida Coalition for Children Communications subgroup. To my immediate right is Jordan Bebout, Community Resource Coordinator. Ms. Bebout holds a bachelor's degree in journalism from the University of North Florida. She is a Stewart local who has been with CC Kids for over a year. Ms. Bebout is a member of Young Professionals of Martin County, a board member of Project Graduation of Martin County, and a volunteer with Tent City Helpers. And folks, before I introduce them formally, I have to say, if you can see, I have one blue fingernail, and Ms. Bebout was the manicurist of this, and we're going to talk about what that's about. So let me welcome you both into the studio, and I'm going to start with you, Ms. Bebout, on the blue fingernail.
Thank you so much for having us. The one blue fingernail represents the 1 in 5 children who will experience abuse, neglect, and abandonment by the time they turn 18. It's called the Manicure Movement. We do it every April, which is Child Abuse Awareness and Prevention Month. And I'm so glad that you, and anybody who can do it, you don't have to have me do it for you.
But she's fantastic.
So, yes, please join in on that.
You'll have a line around the block waiting for your manicure, right? So that is a good thing to let everybody know you can do the one blue fingernail yourself. Christina, tell us a little bit about CC Kids. You've certainly been with the organization a long time. There's a lot of great events coming up, but just tell us what the organization is about.
I'd be happy to. Thank you. And before I do, first of all, thank you for making me sound so great, and also reminding me that I think I need to update our webpage bio. Because there were
There's some more updates other than what
some more updates are required. Yes, Communities Connected for Kids is responsible for the child welfare system in the Treasure Coast and Okeechobee. So Indian River, St. Lucie, Martin, and Okeechobee counties. We are responsible for foster care, adoptions, protective services. Generally speaking, the child welfare system for that community. We have been doing it as Communities Connected for Kids since 2013, and prior to that, we've had a few name changes, but essentially the system has remained the same. Well, not really the same, because over the years we've introduced a lot of amazing initiatives that have really improved the system of care for families and children who are being served. But we've been in the area since 2000 and I want to say 3.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Just over 20 years. That's a long
Yep.
time. With your organization, are you working in conjunction with, Child Protective Services, or do folks just come to you on their own and say they know of a child abuse case? I mean, 1 in 5 by the time you're 18, by the way, is an astounding figure that we
Yes.
have to change. It's shockingly sad.
And that is unfortunately that's a number that it's local, it's state, it's national. It's just an overall number
is.
that applies in any location. 1 in 5 children do experience abuse by age 18. So no, we do not work alone. We are part of a very comprehensive system of care that does include the Department of Children and Families. So we back in the early 2000s, the Department of Children and Families privatized, for lack of a, for a word that most people can probably understand, privatized child welfare services. And so that is how we were born in our community. And there are 19 other we call them CBCs, community-based care lead agencies, throughout the state of Florida. And we're all responsible for our individual community systems of care. And it makes sense. There's a lot of progress that's been made in child welfare in the state of Florida. We went from being among the worst in the nation for outcomes for children to being among the top in the nation, and being invited by other states to please come and share what it is that's making you so successful.
Fantastic.
And community-based care is a big part of that. And the reason is because we're very local. We can, all of our communities are so different. We do not have the same problems or the same challenges or the same benefits or that they have in Miami,
Right,
that
right.
they have in Jacksonville,
sense.
that they have on the West Coast. We're all unique communities. Our child welfare communities should reflect that, and so it's been something I've been very proud to be a part of, because I have been here for a long time, and I have seen the changes that have happened and the improved outcomes for children and families.
Part of that is some awareness campaigns and fundraising campaigns that you need to do to keep your organization flowing and going, and unfortunately, I'm sure growing. Hate that it has to, but it does. So let's talk a little bit about those. We've got a second show coming up a little bit earlier than normal today. It's on our toxic algae and cleaning the water with something called biochar. So that'll be coming up a little bit earlier. But I want to make sure we talk about your events. The first one, Jordan, 25 by 25. What is that?
So the 25 by 25 is our recruitment campaign, and we are looking to recruit 25 new foster fit homes by 2025, because unfortunately we lose more foster homes every year than we gain. So, and it's been shown that foster homes and foster families produce the best outcomes for children, so that they aren't in group homes. So we want to get those children out of group homes, children and teens, and into families and homes. And
I want to add that one of the reasons, Jordan's absolutely correct, we do lose more every year than we've been gaining, which we're trying to turn around. But I think it's important to also recognize one of the main reasons we lose homes is because they have come to the end, they've been doing it for a long time, or they've adopted, or there's been some kind of big change in their family that they've decided is best for them to pull back for a little bit. So we do, we lose them for all different reasons, but I would say the majority of reasons for losing foster families is because of changes in family dynamics and just a need to pull back.
Oh, it makes sense. Everybody has changing lifestyles and needs. You get older, whatever, you may move, you never know. And, to help out, you can call 772-873-7800. That's 873-7800. And that's one way to find out a little bit more about becoming a foster parent. And, it's super important because they have fewer than 80 foster homes in the community, but they have more than 200 children in need. So, this is something that is a huge need for the organization. So definitely, please give them a call and let you know. Again, that's 873-7800. Jordan, we've got 5 minutes, but we've got a couple other events coming up, and one is what we talked about at the beginning of the hour, the Blue Nail. It's Child Abuse Prevention Month, and that is awareness. But you have a 1K coming up, which is a lot of fun. So tell me a little bit about that and what people need to do to become a part of that 1K and how it helps your organization.
Yeah, so we can both chime in on this, but our 1K we've started a few years ago. It is in Port St. Lucie at, I believe it's called Hillmore Lake Park, and it's a great way to get to become aware of the different aspects and the different challenges that the foster care system faces, and just have fun with your family. This is part of our recruitment campaign. We're inviting people who are interested in becoming a foster family out to our walk. And you get a free t-shirt. The first 100 people get a free t-shirt, and there's no cost to register. You can register from our Facebook page, from our website, which is cckids.net. And what else?
So every year we do a little bit more with this event. It is one of our favorite events. It's such a beautiful way to spend a morning. It's not a huge time commitment. You can come at any time between the hours of 9 a.m. and noon. It is a 1K route around a beautiful tree-lined lake. And along that route we have, it's an interactive storytelling route. So we have signage along the route with QR codes, and if you want to, you can stop and you can actually hear from the people that are already, you can hear from foster parents, you can hear from children, you can hear all these different stories from this event. And this year we have actually a lot going on. We've invited our child placing agencies to be there for anyone who is actually interested in taking the next step. We invite people to come out who have no interest in foster care but would like to learn how they can support the community. There are ways. Come out and find out. We are wrapping up our manicure movement, so we'll have a celebration station where you can get your manicure. We also are using this, as Jordan said, as a launch for 25 by 2025, and so there'll be a lot going on. We have a series of celebration stations that will tie in to a lot of different events and activities that we plan to be doing throughout into the spring and summer.
Again, we're speaking with Christina Kaiser and Jordan Bebout. They are both with CC Kids. cckids.net is the Facebook page where you can find out more information. So much happening with this organization, and people, it's about kids. It's about helping the children in the area, so I can't think of anything that's more worthy. And I know there's a lot of organizations out there that you have to compete with, but this is a fun event. 1K, it's April 27th. 9 a.m. to noon at Hillmore Lake Park. Again, and you can call Jordan 772-284-0126 to learn about registering. But it sounds like, I'm sure you have amazing stories over the 20-some years you've been here. And a lot of success stories, too. So we've got just a couple minutes, but can you share something? I wish I had an hour to talk about your success stories. But
so one that just came up yesterday, there's a whole other resource called Care Portal. I don't know if you're familiar with it,
No.
but it's a faith-based initiative. It's a faith and community-based initiative, and basically it's a tool for we have case managers that have families who have needs, and a lot of those needs are often the difference between a child remaining at home and a child having to go into foster care. So now we have this Care Portal where people can go, and churches, case managers can write about the need, a church can fulfill the need, and then voila. Well, there was a woman who case manager wrote in for diapers, and they went in to help bring the diapers, and it turned out that they were able to help her with a car because she was living in a car. They were able to help her find a home. They were able to help her get steady employment, and they are still walking beside her, helping her to budget, helping her to all of that. So it is a wraparound. Real things are happening. People's lives are changing, and you can be a part of that too. Come to our 1K.
folks, this is cckids.net. Christina Kaiser, Jordan Bebout. Don't forget, it's Awareness Month, Abuse Awareness Month with the blue fingernails. So I think that's fantastic. Make sure you get your manicures. Christina and Jordan have a full set. I got my one fingernail. And again, we got the 1K coming up on April 27th. Child Abuse Prevention Month, be aware. And then if you're interested in being a foster parent, boy, they sure could use your help. 25 by 2025. Again, 772-873-7800 to find out more information about that. Christina, Jordan, it has been an absolute pleasure having you here in the studio. I would love to hear about some success stories again further back, further down in the year, because I think you're going to hit your 25 by 25. I think people out there are generous, and I think that they're going to be calling you soon. So thank you for all you do and for helping the kids in our community.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
It's absolutely my pleasure. Both of you take care. Don't forget to get your manicures, folks. Blue is the color this month.
Commercial Mortgage has been in the industry of small balance corporate finance since 2003. Our